important is open source in today's generation, and many such topics will be covered by our speaker. Our speaker works at Red Hat as solution architect and instructor with broad technical and training experience in Linux, open source, ethical hacking, big data, and Spark admin. He managed clients from Wipro, HCL, IBM, Cisco, SBI, Dell, and many more. He had done almost 10 Red Hat certification, one of which is Red Hat Certified Architect level. He is also a tech speaker and also community member for Git Middleware. Everyone, please join me in welcoming our speaker. Thank you.
Hi, hey Ritika. I hope my voice is audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Great. Thank you so much for your kind words. Um, okay, so first of all, good evening, everyone. Means Ritika has already set it up the stage that who I am and what I'm gonna do. So let me share you this screen. And Ritika, if you can confirm me that if you can see my screen as well. I hope
Yes, we
everybody
can.
can see my screen. Okay, wonderful. So, means in today's world, means there are a lot of uncertain activity has happened up, and we are into the middle of sea where every single thing which is like surrounding us, they are creating a negative impact on our life, whether it is like outside you go and hear the word corona, or if you turn on your like news channels, everybody is seems to be surrounded by so much of negativity. So these two quotes, I believe, perfectly design the agenda for me, that nothing can bring you the peace but yourself. So you have to react to the situation, that what you are in between or how you have to be, and let your smile change the world, but don't let the world change your smile. So important is to understand that what you are going to do is going to impact your future. So I'll jump on to the straight away to the things that, first of all, like talking about today's world means break the rule and conquer. So first of all, I would like to thank Ritika and basically the entire Newton College of Engineering and Research team for giving me this opportunity to share my views, that how, if you don't know about coding, how you can still conquer the world and get a good IT job which you have opted or which you have dreamed for. So thank you so much. So all the students, all the dignitaries, if they have joined, I'm really thankful that to give me an opportunity, and let's get started. So this is the particular court the students means, if you are starting your IT career, I believe this is something which I have personally led, and I want you to also trust this particular part for yourself as well. Means don't follow where the path may lead. The important feeling is to understand that go instead where there is no path, and leave the trail. Means in students like life, when I was also in the engineering, I always look up to my senior fellows who were used to, or even my friends who were used to place in Google, Microsoft, and companies like that. And let me tell you, I am from a tier 3 city college. So there were no scopes for hire, like the companies get recruited in Facebook, Google, or Microsoft. Instead, I used to hear these names, and I always wonder that one day I could do the job. But thing is, if somebody is not getting started, how we are going to achieve it? And there I took this part that, okay, if I'm not good in coding, what else I can do? And there how I started exploring. So since 2012 I am exploring this field, and I got to see so much of opportunities. And today, when I have scripted this journey to stand strong in the industry, is nothing but that will to be successful. So always it is important, some key ingredients needs to be there. So if I can ask few of you to unmute yourself and tell me, what does it takes that to be successful, or what do you think that if you want to do or achieve something good or great, how you should do it? So can you unmute yourself and talk to me, like what according to you, what are the key ingredients to get the job, or to be successful, or to your claim yourself to be the successful? Or if may I request Ritika that if somebody is posting in the chat, if you can read it aloud for me, because my screen is shared and I won't be able to switch between the chats and all. Okay, well, let me.
Okay, let
Okay,
me see.
okay.
No,
No, what do you think? Means like, okay, let's take it in this way. What do you think that hard work is important for getting successful? Finding your way. Okay, then education. I believe these are. Let me highlight some of them. Like education is something you need to be goal oriented. Hard work, time, knowledge, luck. I hope everybody agrees on this part that these things are very much key, important, essentials that you should have to achieve a certain good job, or I should say, um, no audio. Somebody texted. Is it so, Ritika? Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, sir.
Okay. Then I guess who has texted, there might be some issue. You can check it back. Okay, so what I was saying is like you can see that education, goal, hard work, time, knowledge, like everybody talks about these all things. That what is there, what is more important, what is required. You need to be hardworking. You need to manage your time good. You need to be have a goal oriented person. You need to have a lot of knowledge. Luck plays a very important role. I guess from since beginning we have been saying that मेरी किस्मत खराब है या मेरी किस्मत अच्छी है या मेरी किस्मत बदल दी या XYZ things. But important part is, according to me, if you connect these alphabets to numbers, like if you connect ABC as 1, 2, 3, the more important thing is luck just play 47%, not even beyond that. If you talk about knowledge, 96% it plays. Time, just 47% into you're successful or something like that. Then hard work plays 98%. None of these factors combines to 100%. Only one word is there, which is attitude. Now, thing is, if you start getting depressed yourself that I don't know this thing, I don't know that thing, but instead of that, if you have an attitude, a positive attitude, where you can say that if I know this thing, nobody else know better than me. You gain one skill. Like even if you correlate with Bruce Lee said in his one of the interview that I'm not afraid of thousand moves, I'm afraid of one move which you have practiced thousand times. So that is more important. That attitude plays a very important role in one's individual success. Let me try to clarify that how you can claim yourself to be the leader or to be the successful. Now, if you understand that if you are in a student life and if you think that you cannot be a leader, my answer to you is you are underestimating yourself. You can be leaders for your siblings, you can be leaders for your juniors. First of all, a good leader definition you need to understand. A good leader is someone who can club up the team. And I guess it takes a whole village to gather someone, and I'm blessed that I'm surrounded by a lot of leaders today. The more important part, like Ritika reached out to me and we were able to plan this out. A big kudos to Ritika and even to the Newton College team, their professors, their dean, for allowing us to do this particular event. You all are the leaders. I don't claim yourself the boss. I always credit you are all as a leader, and that makes you more successful. So let's see that how it can be a successful person. I guess this picture is correlated to everyone. Lion. So if you see that lion is not the smartest animal, right? The fox is, like we always say, as cunning as fox. The fox is the smartest, or I guess the brilliant animal we always seek. Even if you talk about the heaviest, lion is not the heaviest animal amongst there. The elephant is. Or even if you talk about the tallest, giraffe is the tallest animal. Lion still it is not. But still, lion is the king of jungle. The only thing is his attitude make him more fearing, more fearless, more respectable in the society. Whenever it sees, like even if you talk about like the giraffe means he even gets scared when he sees the lion in front of it. If you see that every single people, you can be a lion, but you need to carry that attitude, that fearlessness in the eyes, means the speed he carries, the fearless, the anger on his face. I would say that even if you talk about the men's walking, it always correlated. It's nothing but a small cat. And that's why I believe when a model walks on the entire ramp, it is always said for a girl it is a catwalk and for a boy it is a panther walk. That you need to be confident. So if you even learn of one skill, that is more important to get it sharpened. So if you see this particular picture, what I have put it up, that in one side there is an elephant and on the other side there is a lion. What is the difference? How you see the situation. Means in this situation, if I see the elephant will get fear that in front of me there is a lion and he's gonna eat me. On the other side, if you see the lion's perspective, he's gonna see that I have a target in front of me, I have to eat it. On the, like on if a journal view is there, like if we all are seeing, what we are seeing is that this is an elephant. Even if his 1 foot fall on the lion is nowhere gonna exist, but that fear is there. And similar thing happens, people, when you talk about the coding. You have always seen the good resources full people standing on the great podium, or with the package of higher package, I should say it's 70, 80 lakhs and 25 lakhs or 30 lakhs XYZ. They always say to you that we have done C plus plus data and XYZ. But have you ever got a chance to ask them that after 10 years what you are doing? They might have changed the field, or they are doing the same thing. On the other side, if you see, you have a lot of opportunities to get explore, and that makes you more fearless. So trust your one capability that can change the entire part. Even if I have to explain this thing in your term, like till 2011, no one scored a double century, and I guess I need not to even tell that who scored the first double century. Sachin Tendulkar against the South Africa in 2011, he scored a double century in one day international. Do you know that 2,962 one day international were played till the time the first double century was scored? And after this century, only it took 180 innings for Sehwag to score a century. Rohit scored it thrice, Gale, Guptill, and I guess they all did the change. What the change it comes means one single individual, when it changes the attitude of the other person. Now, after this inning of like Sachin, when Sehwag was used to on the field, when Rohit was on the crease, Gale was on the ground, and Guptill, they all were in a thought that if Sachin can do, we can definitely do. It all takes a courage. So that's why what I want to say is that break the rule. If you don't know coding, it's fine. Adapt, accept that yes, you are unique, because you are going to make the change, and you are going to create a path which none of you might have even imagined for. So it's always important that life will give you the choices to follow your passion or to easy to adopt the trend. And even I guess Three Idiots movie dialogue quite fits over here, that when he says like don't run behind the success, run behind the excellence, success will follow you. सक्सेस के पीछे मत भागो, एक्सीलेंस के पीछे भागो, सक्सेस झक मार के भाग आएगी. So that's the particular part, that because if you love something, if you have faith in that quality, everything will fall into your place. Okay, so these are the some like I believe, let's get started. The thing is, like, everybody seeing these keywords: corona, covid, quarantine, and you all, I guess everybody seems to have this thing in their mind that how I'm going to achieve it, how if I am capable of getting a good job, how the market is going to respond. I am not good in C++, I haven't done any certification XYZ things, how I am going to survive in the market. So thing is, if this thing is there, and just be optimistic about this situation also. Utilize this situation as a bounce back policy. Like if you know about a cricket ball, if you hit the cricket ball down, the more harder you hit, the more fast it bounces, or the more higher it bounces. So if you can see that this is the particular situation, this crisis has hit us our bottomest part. Now again, it is giving us a chance to uplift ourselves. Now thing is, you can spend more time with family. Like we as a profession used to always be on the road and the field, and we never enjoy the luxury of being with our family, and I guess everybody is blessed. So I'm taking this as a optimistic. I can upgrade myself, I can learn the skills which I were not able to do it. So similar thing can you also try to attend all these talks, try to explore the opportunities, try to learn something new. So that's how. Now as I was talking about the coding part, if you see, this is the survey which I gathered in 2020 initial year from the LinkedIn Learning, that top skill companies need the most in 2020. Top 10 hard skills, let me talk first and then I'll jump on to the others. Like top 10 hard skills, if you can see on the screen, is blockchain, cloud computing, analytic reasoning, artificial intelligence, UX, business analysts, affiliated marketing, sales, scientific computing, and video productions. So if you can see the top 10 hard skills, and I guess I need not to even tell, more than 60% of these hard skills are nowhere related to coding. Nowhere related to coding. Even if somebody says you like cloud computing, I guess now every single individual business, and I'll share some of the quotes also later, that they want to adopt cloud as their primary platform to adopt the technologies. If you talk about the analytical data, because there is a lot of data gathering is there, and we need to build the trend that is required. And the on the other side, to complement your hard skill, the top five skills was creativity, perseverance, collaboration, adaptability, and emotional intelligence. So the most important part is that if you see from here, that hard skills, nowhere it is mentioned that developers are required. Excuse me. So if you see, there are a lot of opportunities which are bouncing back to you. So don't be afraid, people, that if you don't know coding, it's absolutely fine. And it is not just one type of job that you are looking for, the developers. There are a lot of other jobs like artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, internet of things, cloud computing, DevOps, a full stack developer where a lot of administration skills are also required, blockchain, VR, augmented realities, virtual reality, machine learning, edge computing, RPA, that is robot process automation, and the software engineering, and then system administration, cloud computing, and XYZ more jobs are there. These all are the system administrator roles which you can opt for, and they have a huge number of possibilities. Because if you want to code, you need a platform, and that platform can be maintained by the admin fellows, and there is no requirement of coding at all. And that how it's make the beautiful word to compensate both side of the world. One is developer. We have always focused in our college life on the developer side. We haven't seen the operational side, that if we want to develop, if you want to sit in a cubicle and want to code, the other person are also there to maintain that cubicle, the system you are using or the platform you are working on. So we can opt for that particular part. So this is the particular which I want to share, is like to deliver the business advantages today. Organizations are shifting IT and the traditional infrastructure operations and are focusing on the service delivery. Because at this point of time, my application is there. I want a platform which can cater my customer need. Like talking about, let's take an example of Starbucks or CCD. Now people are heavily relying on Swiggy, Zomato, because you cannot visit the store. Coffee is ready, we want a medium to be get connected. Now people are also there. Thing is that app is required. So Swiggy, on which it is going to run. So there are a lot of opportunities which is running behind it. So whenever there is a key ask for service delivery infrastructure in terms of computer, there are a lot of points are there. Like when an organization sees for a job, they always want someone who is responsive in nature, like who have a capability to adapt the business change. They should be having a faster time to market. They need to be a good user experience. They need to have a standard base infrastructure. Means you cannot keep half of the things on the cloud, half of the things on like data center, half of the things on like containers and all things like that. There need to be a cultural innovation change that need to be come up, and side by side there should be the applications which are certified, which are adopted highly in the market. And even if you talk about, there should be 24/7 service ability. The pay as you go model is more important, and there should not be any kind of vendor lock-in capabilities are there. So these are some of the key asks from the industry people, that if I am going to hire the person, these are the some of the things that I want to look into for it. They should be dynamic in nature, right? So one of the key area which is buzzing out today world, and if you are into the sort of thing where you want to get acquainted with a good job, what is open source? Can anybody tell me what is open source? Anyone? If you can unmute, it's absolutely fine. If you are not, you can just text it. We can read it. Anybody can tell me what is the definition of open source, or if you consider me as a non-tech fellow, how you are going to convince me that what is open source? Can anybody unmute yourself and tell me? Yeah, I can hear somebody has unmuted.
The source code of open source is freely available. It can be
Mhm.
modified,
Mhm.
distributed freely.
Can be modified and can be distributed freely. Very nice. Who's this?
So Dishant,
Dishant, very nice, buddy. Somebody has put it up. Saurav has put it source code available to everyone. Okay. Is there somebody else?
It's like by the people for the people.
By the people for the people. Great, this is the definition. Okay, can someone give me the example that if take me a proper non-tech fellow, I'm just take an example. You want to suggest open source to your parents. How you're going to define what is open source? Anyone can use it or modify it. Great.
Uh, the
Mhm.
example of a Linux distribution. So Linux distribution,
Ah, where you? No, 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 no. Linux is yeah. Who's this? Dishant or somebody
no,
else? Yes, Ashish. Ashish, you are stealing my next objectives, man. No, no, no. I want to keep it more simple. What is open source? Like, I don't know about Linux. I don't know any tech term. If you see what is around your
complete element
examples.
which are
Mhm.
really available modified means if I suppose means applications I have created it and I people freely on a open source platform they can modify and create
Mhm.
something more uh, means something more creative than my work and then can use it and I have no clue
DIY
then
it. Yes, yes. Means everybody can contribute. I want an example that look. This is an example of open source. Something like that, which can cater all your sayings. Like you are saying that something which is available for free of cost, somebody can modify it, anybody can use it for free of cost, you need not to pay every single thing. I got it. Give me an example. This is the example, not technical stuff, non-tech stuff, non-tech stuff.
case that's
Hmm?
Linux.
Linux is a technical thing. I want a non-tech example.
Take example, okay.
Hmm. Think of this way.
I think
Free
it's
library, yes.
public library.
Renewable resources,
Public library.
yes. Public libraries, these libraries, yes. So these are the actually, like, water is everybody, right? Great, Rohan. Means this is something great that you've just pinged out. Wikipedia, renewable resources, these are freely available, right? Just somebody mentioned about water. Take an example of what is water. Nobody knows from where water comes. Means we have a bulk of like 70% of the earth is covered with water. Anybody can use it. Even like companies like Aquafina, Bisleri, they all are using the water and also earning from it. Nobody stops them, because nobody has a vendor lock-in that this water is of Vishnu Bhagwan, this water is from Shivji, this water is from Hanuman. Nobody said that, right? कोई नहीं बोल सकता. And that was the power of open source is. Whatever you said is absolutely correct, that open source means the software which is distributed for free with the accessible source code that can be modified and improved by anyone. It is community driven, it is reliable, secure, flexible, adaptable, freedom, quality, cost, every single thing is possible. So these are the some of the keywords. So try to understand. I bifurcate this word open source in two words. One is open and second is source. So, what is open? Open means available to everyone. Source means you need not to pay for getting that code. So, if you see what is water, it is H2O, as simple as that. Now, whatever you keep on adding it, that's why water is called universal solvent. That anybody think anyone can add into it and a new flavor will come. Like if you are looking for a cold water, what you do, you keep an ice into the water and you have a new product. If you want to add it in the milk, it is a new product. If you add some mint, it is a new product. If you add lemon, it is a new product. Even if you can add like lemon, some masalas and some ice into it, a new thing comes up. And even you can use it to sell yourself. And that's how, what the power of open source is, bifurcating this word open and source. So I guess I am glad that audience knows about open source things. So this is the important learning, that open source is one of the key feature which we are going to adopt to get a good job. Everybody seeks for the people who knows about open source, tools, and even who are the contributors or like for the open source itself. This is the particular learning that open source gives to me, and I want to pass it on as a value to you. Discuss and innovate. हमारे बड़े बुजुर्गों ने कहा है यार कि नॉलेज या ज्ञान जितना बांटोगे उतना ही बढ़ेगा. The more you share, the more you get. So that is the more important, because if you share something to somebody else, they are going to give you the suggestions or the feedbacks, whether it is positive and negative. So you can incalculate all the feedbacks into a single term and you can come up with the new product itself. And that is going to make you more scalable, I should say more secured, and more innovative as well, because the ideas can bring a change into the life. So that is the important part. So whenever you do a code, share it on the public platform. Like somebody mentioned about Git. Yes, so Git is a public shareable platform where you can share the code. Don't hesitate to even put down hello world application over there, because people like me are looking for those kind of a code, because I don't know how to write down hello world. There will be a lot of people who don't understand about arrays, so this is important. The power of open source is all about. Then these some of the questions which I found out in the students, like what I should do, means where I should start from, am I the eligible for the contribution, can someone guide me. Means this third question is my favorite, that am I eligible for the contribution, that I don't know how to read C code or Java, Python, R, and XYZ languages. Yes, you can still contribute. Who said that contribution can only be done by doing the coding? If you know that there are some of the awards, there is a lady named Natha Hussain. She won the Red Hat Open Source Woman Award by contributing to Wikipedia pages. She has more than, if I'm not wrong, 5,000 plus commits on Wikipedia pages. Means if you are a good like English speaker or English learner, if you have a power of words, you can use them to contribute, correct the pages which is there. Even if you are a good designer, you can contribute to design. If you don't even know that much of skills, at least you can test somebody's writings, right? Means there are set of people who require testing, that I have put up a code, I am giving you the script, please provision the environment and hit enter. The script will run and will give you the output, please share me the output. So these kind of contributions are also there. What and where to start? Just do one thing and start, which is gonna be the next topic which I'm gonna come up, and you can do it. And whole lot of thing which I just said, that discuss and innovate. Don't worry about this four question. There are lot of medium where you can find the skillful resources. LinkedIn is there, Slack channels are there, cohort channels are there. There are a lot of Telegram groups nowadays coming up, and there are even some of the mailing list where you can put down your queries and everybody is there to help you with the queries, questions, and answers. So if you see, I believe this is pretty much very much interesting. Now people will unmute themselves. I want two fellows, one if possible boy and one girl. Can you speak up your name loud, please? Or otherwise I have to pick Ritika. I want two persons, please. Can I get two volunteers who can just chat to me? There is a very funny activity which I want to help you to guide in this way. Two persons, please.
Yeah, hi.
Anyone? Hi, who's this? Ashish again? Yeah, Ashish. Hi. Ashish, if may I ask you, you can see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Can you see the picture?
Yeah.
If may I ask you that choose one character out of it and which you want to be and why? Can you please tell us that whom you'll pick and why?
Mm. Most power.
Who?
This
Um,
yeah, this one.
this one, this Steve Rogers, or I should say Chris Evans, played Captain America or something like. Okay, why?
Because intelligence and even a power. I believe he has more power than others.
Yes. Okay. No problem. Means yes, it's absolutely fine. Okay, Ashish. So you choose this Captain America because of his powerful and his intelligence, right? Okay. That
Yeah.
sounds cool. Thank you so much, Ashish. Anybody else? Or else Ritika will be the, yeah. Ritika, you are there, right? We
Hello.
have to probably, yeah. Yeah. You are
Yes,
audible,
sure.
Ritika. Yeah. So Ritika, choose one character out of it, and can you tell us why?
Maybe Iron Man,
You Iron Man. Very good. Why?
because he is very smart in technologies and I love that.
Mm-hmm. And you love that, right? So as Ashish choose about like Captain America, and Ritika choose about Iron Man, and everybody individual in this particular group, they might have certain skill sets, right? that like you might be liking Iron Man or like Robert Jr. Because of its intelligence, because of its money, because of its love for technologies and all other parts. She said that I like to relate to Captain America because he's of his intelligence and more power. Somebody might be liking Thor, somebody might be liking this Hulk, or somebody might be liking Black Widow and XYZ people, right? Now thing is, just understand, you are the individual with the unique capabilities. So if you see, every single individual in this picture has their own unique capabilities which none of other can possess, can take that thing. Means like in the last part of this movie we saw that Chris Evans even pick up that Thor's hammers, but he cannot claim that he can spin that hammer better than Thor does. So you can be good in field, but don't claim yourself to be the master of that field, or that field is yours. You can be good in some qualities, and that exactly happens. But it takes the whole team effort to claim powerful. It is not an individual task or individual game. Similar thing happens in your college life. You are surrounded by a lot of technologies, but you cannot learn all. So don't get jealous or don't get depressed if somebody knows better than you. You might know one thing which is unique, so trust that unique capabilities. Similar thing, our colleges teaches us a lot of functionalities like AI, ML, C++, Sharp, .NET, DBA, cloud computing, Linux operating system, and XYZ things. Most important part is, all are the technologies that you're learning are gonna learn or gonna help you to crack the job in IT. Most important thing is, you need to address that file which can sharpen that single knife or that skill set that you have, because sharpening up that skill set is going to take you to some great jobs, and even claim yourselves to be the successful. So this is the most important part, that identifies yourself, that which skill you want to sharpen, pick up the file and start sharpening it. Means gather the resource and start learning. Need not to wait for anyone. So my first question comes up is like, do you know Linux? Like if you are like me who doesn't have an interest in coding or databases and all, my first question to you all is, do you know Linux? If your answer is yes, very good. I'm going to support you in upcoming slides that yes, why you should know Linux. If you don't, I guess I can give you some of the reasons to get yourself started with the Linux. So thing is, like when it comes, to get a job, we are doing nothing but we are satisfying our customers. So customer expectation from modern operating system where your applications can run is simple, like whether you are using Macintosh, Windows, Linux, or distribution of different Linux or anything. Most important part is that should be easy to adopt. There should be like somewhat it's like reduce your time to market. There should be some like a consistent life cycle and support management should be there. Always it should be acquainted with the seamless performance, security should be there, and more important part is there should be developer and operational productivity tools can be catered into a single operating system. So these are some of the customer expectations. So what I want to say to you all is, don't think that you just want to get the job. If you can solve the problem of the end customer, automatically job is yours. So as I said, that don't run behind the success, run behind the excellence. The success will come. So I am saying, don't run behind the job, run behind solving the problems. Automatically job will follow, right? And that's what this open source is all about, helping the community to grow, ultimately leave like help you to recognize that what you can do as a wonder, as a team, and you can claim yourself to be the leader. So this is a particular code which I saw in 2012 and transformed the way I used to think. Linux is everywhere. Now, let me give you some of the examples. Like, if you see, 99% of world's top computers run on Linux enterprise systems. 1.4 billion active users are having Linux-based Android devices, and I guess everybody knows Android is from Google, and Google uses Linux. So that clearly means Linux people who knows Linux, they have a higher chances to get the job. 80% of all stock exchange relies on Linux. And I'm proud to say that I'm an Indian, and our India's national stock exchange is the fastest stock exchange in the world. I'm not talking about like just few names. I'm claiming that it is the fastest stock exchange in the world. And you can even go on Reddit site and check it, that yes, they have a case study out there. And and I'm saying it proudly because I'm a red hatter. And yes, we know that yes, Bombay Stock Exchange or the National Stock Exchange is using Red Hat technologies, and they are using the Linux, and they are the fastest stock exchange. Even the Linux has gone where no man has gone before. I guess Elon Musk is one of the persons of our generation that who loves to get innovative, and Tony Stark, which you just saw, is inspired by his work. SpaceX or Tesla uses Linux for the Dragon and Falcon 9 spacecraft. I guess the recent mission was covered by NASA, and that was nothing but by the Dragon spacecraft, right? So they are using the Linux operating system, and there 32 space missions have been completed by Linux till date. And I guess these are more multiplied. I haven't updated the numbers, but yeah, Linux is helping NASA's Curiosity rover to explore the Mars. I guess if you have seen this movie called Mission Mangal, when Vidya was like getting it like recognized that we should also launch our Mission Mars project, he runs to Akshay Kumar, and they were having the chat in the cafeteria. There she clearly mentioned that NASA had launched Mars. Mevin or Mevin launch in Mars or something like that, some mission name, and the rover which was like there to explore the Mars was using Linux. So look what the Linux capabilities are. Linux is big in Hollywood, and I guess Titanic is the first movie which was got featured in Linux servers, which was produced on Linux servers. And I guess who doesn't have watched Titanic? And if you haven't, it's fine. But you can understand that the rendering time, the VFX you can see, they all are rendered on Linux operating system. So if you have a crazy like if you are an anime lover, or if you want to do something good in animation, Linux plays a very important role. Lee Scrooge, one of the animated movies, it took 9100 computing rendering years to produce Lee Scrooge. So that is very much important, and lessons to see that what is the power of Linux. If you talk about transportation, in today's world, Linux is transforming that world as well. USA air traffic is controlled on Linux. Linux runs bullet trains in Japan. Queensland Motorway, the London's streets are managed or and highly relies on Linux operating system itself. These are like some of the stats which I want to give. Our Indian Airlines, Indigo, heavily runs on Reddit product itself. So these are some of the like ways I want to motivate you to start using Linux operating system. And I guess this is something, the statement which you can see, and I have given the reference point also. These are the case studies done in the market that which simply states that 90% of top public clouds are built on Linux operating system. 70% of the world servers are running on Linux. More than like 50, over a half of the virtual machines are running on Microsoft Azure, are running on Linux operating system. So it is nowhere it is like can be said that Linux is operating system for the hybrid cloud. If you started learning Linux right now, I guess you have a huge number of jobs which I was talking about. At least for a system administrator, you can get started. Then you can opt for quality assurer, tester. You can talk about the developing angle because it gives you an independent platform where you can test the applications, and you can be an infrastructure guy, and there are a lot of functionalities that you can opt for in today's world. So it is rightly said that Linux is the modern operating platform, shifting workload preference. So in 2020, I guess everybody, when we have hit this pandemic situation, they are inclining their services toward Linux operating system. And it is very much important to see that what kind of advancement it gives. These are some of the examples which you can see that they are using Red Hat Linux or Red Hat technologies or Linux itself. Like talking about Infosys, IBM, Google, Tesla, NASA, State Bank of India, HDFC, Geo, CargoSmart, TCS, Datacom, DBS, McDonald's, Bombay Stock Exchange, Netflix, Cisco, Amazon, Microsoft, and the list goes on. The list goes on. And these all are the publical references which you can go to their website and start searching the jobs for Linux admin people, and you will find a bunch of jobs. So this is something, if you belongs to a known coding, or even if you are doing a coding, start thinking about the platform, because a platform is required. You cannot go directly just by the application skills that yes and sustain in the IT. So as I mentioned, that is not just type of job. So these are the some of the job areas where you as a known coder and the theme around this event can align. Like you can apply for the system administrator job, networking people, and even system consultants, cloud computing, DevOps, data management, designing and architectural planning, cyber securities. They all don't require any kind of skill sets where you have a good coding experience, or even if you have a little coding experience, that is going to give a value add on for these kind of jobs. Okay, now this is something which is mentioned that uh, Prajwal has a question that is Linux is a hard real-time OS. So Prajwal, all the data sets which I have just mentioned, that yes, Linux gives you a lot of values in terms of operating system, because the platform on which your application is going to get host, they majorly are running on Linux operating system. So that's where, yes, Linux is demandable. I'm not talking about any kind of distribution, whether it is Red Hat or you uses Ubuntu, Fedora, CentOS, Kali, or Debian, anything you can use. But yes, Linux is one of those OS which are highly like demandable in the market, and they are the new norms which anybody can use. And even like tech giants like Microsoft, they have come up with the quote like Microsoft love Linux. Google has started their own wing in which they are catering about Google love open source, and they are inclining themselves toward using that particular technologies. And their highly recommended platform like Amazon is running on cloud, and Amazon is running on Linux itself. If you talk about Microsoft, they are using Linux. If you talk about Google, they are using Linux. So yes, this is very much important to get started with Linux operating system, and you can do wonders. So this is something, I hope that answer your question, Prajwal. If you have anything, please interrupt me and let me know. So as I was mentioning that Linux is a core skill for all IT professional. Yes, Linux is, and Linux is gonna be the core skill that all IT professionals should know. Whether you are a developer, whether you are a operations, everyone should know Linux. And it is good to know Linux. I should not say must or should, because everybody has their own preferences. But I would highly encourage you, being a student, you should know Linux, because that is something which you can go out and do wonders with. These are some of the resources which I want to give it to you. You can take the screenshot, and these are free of cost resources are available. Like if you go down to lab.redhat.com, go there, and there are like free of cost lab scenarios are available. I won't encourage you to go and deploy a VM and just get started with it. I would say that you just go there and start using and seeing the power of Linux, that what it can bring. Okay, I got a message. Okay, so I'll just jump onto that message again. But these are the resources which I guess everybody can use it. Like today, people are talking about Dockers, containers, and all. And if you want to get yourself started with Linux, this lab.redhat.com is going to give you 10 to different 15 scenarios which can help you to develop the interest to learn Linux. Okay, this is something is there. Okay. Let me take this question, which is posted by Mayur, that I think it is mandatory to learn a language as Python or R. My goal is to learn artificial intelligence. Your thought will be insightful. Mayur, yes, it is good to know Python or R language, but if you see what is artificial intelligence, what is artificial intelligence according to you? More, according to me, means artificial intelligence is something where you can have a multiple situation, you can combine and take a best outcome of it. Like take an example, if you say, hey Siri, play this song, what they are going to do, they are going to check out the list, and what they are going to bring best out of it is they are going to help you to optimize that particular part, right? So important is to get the structured data, or I should say a well acquainted data which can produce a best response out of it. So this is very much important and easy to understand. So Python is one of the language that can be easily adopt and can easily be transformed and can learn. But what I would say, if you even don't know that skill set, you need to learn Linux, cloud computing, Dockers, and all these things are even so easy to learn and get yourself started. It is always good. I am not forcefully saying that if you don't know any language, you can go and do out wonders, no problem. But it is good to know language. But even if you don't know, don't get disheartened, there are a lot of other things available to it. And talking about some of the coding questions, like, I know that I might not good in coding, but I have some insightful data which I can share towards the end. I hope that justify your answer, Mayur. And if you don't, please let me know. I can come back, and we can have the things back again. So I hope you have taken the screenshot for this resources. Joe, go out and explore out and let me know. So I'll take a couple of minutes more, and then we'll jump onto the Q&A. That this particular person whom you are able to see on the screen, and like hearing it from like last 45 minutes odd, who is this Gaurav Sharma? So Ritika has given some brief insight about me, and this is who I am. Means I'm a Linux lover, I'm an open source enthusiast, I'm a tech speaker. I have a close experience to 3.5 years now, and I haven't used Windows since 2013. I'm working as a solution architect at Red Hat, and I'm also a Red Hat certified architect, which includes like approximate 19 certificate as of now. I'm a Red Hat certified instructor and examiner as well. I'm a Amazon Web Services certified solution architect. I'm also a certified ethical hacker. I have been doing a lot of stuff around CCSK and CCSK Plus and CCSP, which relates to some of the cloud technologies out there. I'm also trained for Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, Hadoop, Spark, and automation and all things. And last but not the least, truly affect, and I have been trained on zero coding language. I don't even know a single coding language. Like, if you know hello world, I guess you are better than me to write down in the C, that compiler, including that studio.h and conio.h. Yes, and if your question comes up that how you survived your college life, yes, it was very tough, and it was very hard to get survived. But yes, I made my way, that I want to pursue in Linux. I love cloud computing, I love data, I loved Hadoop, I love Spark, and I did this particular part. So yes, this is who I am. And if you want to connect with me offline, this is my LinkedIn barcode and this is my Instagram. So you can always reach out to me. Just scan this code from your mobile phones or so, and you will end it up on my LinkedIn. And I'm pretty much active. I used to share out there. And if you want to explore the personal side of me, you can connect me over Instagram as well. Both of the things you can easily find it out. My name simply have a handle RSCA Sharma, which I can even like post it offline, or you can ask Ritika to share with you all. Now I'll take a pause before I jump onto the question, and this is a particular question I want to leave yourself. That try to understand that how you are going to utilize the credit that is being credited by the God with you, that of 86,700 seconds for your day, whether you want to invest or whether you want to spend. That every single day, 24 hours you get, this number might be wrong, and please don't judge me on that part, but this is a rough number which I have acquainted. So every single day is unique. Every single day, every single individual gets 24 hours. How you are going to invest it? Are you going to invest in learning, or you are going to just spend what you are doing? So that's the particular thing which I want to leave it to you. And now thank you so much for listening my thoughts. And if you have any question, please feel free to ask me. I'll stop sharing the content, and let me know if something you would like to ask. Yes, guys. Am I audible? Ritika and all other folks? Yeah, thank you so much, Aparna ma'am. Anyone, any question for me? I'll be glad to answer them.
Okay. Tell me for
Ashish, that is a pretty much tough question. What I did in the 4 years of my engineering. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you that the day one when I went to join a college. So I'm graduate of 2016, and to 2012. It was, I still remember, it was 15th of August 2012, exactly 8 years back. My dad went to drop me in the college, and when I was sitting out there in the college and I filling up my form, some of my relatives' son was also there in the college, and he came up and he was checking out my documents. So I scored 59.8 percentage in 12th standard. And on my face, he simply said that your son is not gonna get job. On my dad's face, that because he doesn't have 60%, right? So 60% was just that value that TCS, Wipro, and all these companies looks for. And on the day one, I was bullied, or I was underestimated and said on my face that I'm an average person and I cannot do it. So that hurted me, that how the hell anybody can judge in this open world that you can be. But as a young fellow, I didn't felt that bad. But what I did is, like, I started engineering, and first semester back, second semester backlog, third semester backlog. Until the third semester, I was pretty sure that C++, Python is not a cup of tea. But in third semester, I started loving Linux because I encountered with Ubuntu, and this was familiar to me. This was looking like a first love which I can fall in. This is something technology I was looking for, and from there onwards, I started that, okay, is exploring the field. I was putting on the questions that how I can get a person, and then I guess within 1 year, I made myself mind that I'm gonna opt Linux as a career, and let's see how the process gets started. And when I had this thought, I encountered with Red Hat, and Red Hat was the firm which was not looking at all in terms of percentages and all. So I thought of, like, let's make this career. But there was a challenge which I need to show to the world that yes, if you don't see that I don't have good marks, you can see me as I have a good technical experience. And only for that reason, I started learning Red Hat I started doing Red Hat certification, so that I can show it to the world that whatever I am saying, I also know all these part. And I guess somebody has put it this question, Rohan has put it this question, that how we can get certified. So Red Hat certifications are all the hands-on certification. Let me first of all tell in that way. And that what make motivated me during my college days also, because, like, if you see, if you are mentioning C++ in your resume, anybody can ask you that how we can trust you that you know it. It might be a copy paste thing. But thing was, when I was seeing the Reddit certification, you have to perform certain things, and on the basis of that test, you are going to get results, and then only you will be acquired that, okay, this is a certified person. So it was making my task easier, that if I'm a Reddit certified system administrator, the other person need not to test me. They will be automatically understanding, okay, these are the things that they know. If I'm a Reddit certified OpenStack or a cloud expert, they will understand that I know the basic of cloud. They will start exploring my technologies. So that was my motive. I don't say to the people that go out and just start doing the Reddit certification, or for the any certifications does it matter. But thing is, the more important part is learn and showcase to the world itself. That is more important. So that was my goal. And by the time was done with my college, I was with zero packages or zero offer letters. I struggled for 1 year because I know that what the job I want should be good, which can cater my technical qualities, which can help and enhance my technical qualities. So that was my motive, and I opted for Red Hat luckily in 2017, and it's been 3 years. I started as an instructor and examiner, and then right now in March itself this year, I started as a solution architect, where I'm meeting the decision makers, and I'm helping other partners of Red Hat to enhance their portfolio and their and skill sets on that particular part. So to get Red Hat certified, what you need to know more part is Linux. You will be given certain scenarios, like taking one of the certification you have. You might be asked to create some users, giving some permissions. Will ask to create files, make some changes in that. You will be taught to create web services. Implement policies, and you can always go and search for Red Hat training and certifications, or even you can connect me offline on LinkedIn, and I'll be more happy to share with you all. So if you see Reddit thing, yes, there are a lot of Reddit partners which you can go and learn and do the things like that way. So I have put in my LinkedIn request in the chat box. Anybody can go and connect me on LinkedIn. I can help you with the resources. Then one question is there from Dhanashri, that if anybody is new and don't know anything about Linux operating system, how do we start? So thing is very much important, or very much easy to get yourself started with Linux operating system, is just install a Linux and you won't be having any issues. Now thing is, why you love or why you find hard to learn Linux is you have always seen Windows environment as your primary operating system. You were not forced to use Linux. If you put yourself in a situation where you don't have any other option, automatically you will start learning the capabilities. Like one of the example I can give you is when we say Windows operating system, or if you are a gamer, you would be able to correlate, or if you know about torrent, or if you are a movie lover or something, you will be able to understand that they don't uses Microsoft Windows at the end point. They always uses Linux operating system, because Linux give you full flexibility to customize your OS, that if you don't need this service, you can shut down or you can uninstall it. If you are a root user, means if I'm a root user, I have a full authority on my machine. The way I want to use it, I can use it. So the resources which I shared, I can again share it on my screen, that you can simply go and visit these resources, and these resources are going to definitely help you, uh, uh, which can get help you get started with Linux, and then easily you can just simply like you can say start adopting Linux. So this is the resource which I was talking about, like lab.redhat.com. Go there, it is freely available. Go to labs.playwithdocker.com. It is a containers, and this is the new norm which every single individual companies are talking about today's world. So go to these websites, or you can connect me offline. I can help you more with your queries. So that's the part. One question's coming from Ayash Barry, do you have any experience in augmented reality, AR? How anyone can get career in the field of AR? So, sorry about the name. I won't. I guess there is a number coming in between, so I'm not able to like get the name correctly. But if it is Ayush, so thing is, I don't have much experience on AR. But what I would say is that augmented reality definitely requires some of the learning of the languages and all, if I'm not wrong. But I won't be Yash. Okay, Yash it is. So I guess Yash, I might not be the right person, or if you can help me with your more detailed query over the LinkedIn or something, I can definitely help you with that. I don't want to take or misguide you on this particular part, but I am not aware of like what kind of career fields. But definitely, what I know is that there are a lot of system administration job roles where you can help the developers to host their platform, which their application can run fast, because augmented reality is all about like showcasing the thing which you cannot see, or which you cannot perform live, like a 3D modeling or something like that. So definitely I see the system administration side, or like I can explore system administration side of augmented reality. That definitely requires some Linux skill sets and things like that. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So one question is coming, that what is the difference between Gcha and vanilla just? Okay, vanilla shell. So these are the different types of shell, like by default. Okay, is I am the only one who is getting an echo, or everybody is getting it?
We are getting an echo.
So I'm still getting the echo. I don't know why it is. Is it the my mm, at my end, or somebody else? Okay, can we mute everyone, like Ritika or somebody, and then I'll even including me. I can unmute myself again, and we can start talking.
Hello,
I think
can
issue is resolved.
No, it is still there. Can we mute everyone, please? For once. Okay. Okay. Now it seems it is resolved. Okay. Now yes, I can. No, no, no. It is still there. Mm, I don't know why it is happening. Okay, now it seems okay for me. Can you drop down in the chat that are you able to hear me and there is no echo right now?
hello Gaurav.
Yeah. Hello. Yes, Ritika. Now I guess I'm fine. Yes. Okay. So the question was G shell and
G
vanilla G
shell
shells.
and
Now
vanilla G shells. Now
again it came up.
again it came up.
There might be somebody who
There
is
might be
Forward.
logging
somebody who is logging
Am I
from
audible?
mobile phone.
from
Yes,
mobile
Ritika,
phone.
you
Yes,
are.
Ritika, you are.
But again,
Okay.
But
I'm able
again,
to hear the echo.
I'm able to hear the echo.
Okay. So
Um,
Um,
Aparna ma'am, if
Aparna
you
ma'am,
can unmute
if you
yourself,
can
can you
unmute
mute
yourself,
yourself
can
once?
you mute yourself once?
Because I can see the host
Because I can
microphone
see
is
the host
on.
microphone
Rest
is on.
nobody's.
Rest nobody is.
Oops. Okay.
Okay,
The echo is still there.
the echo is still there.
This generally happens if you
This
log in
generally
from the
happens if
two
you log in
mobile
from the
phones
two
and
mobile phones and
we are getting this.
we are getting this.
Uh,
Uh,
Ritika, what is the solution for
Ritika,
this?
what is the solution for this?
I think ma'am should
I think
mute
ma'am
him.
should mute him.
Parna ma'am.
Parna ma'am.
Hello?
It
Hello?
once as well as unmute all. Yeah, audible to me.
Okay. Because we are able to see some sound. Okay, now it is resolved, I guess. Okay. Let's try it now. Okay, so one question was like talking about G shell and also shells are different types of like just shell to make your kernel thing. Like whenever we talk about technical perspective of Linux, what is Linux? Linux is nothing but an kernel. So what is the kernel is basically like an mind of your or like I should say the brain of your operating system. Nothing else than that. So thing is when we talk about kernel, it need a interpreter. Like you cannot talk kernel in English language. So you need certain things that can change. So that is there. Like basically what you need to know is that there are different shells and they are meant to for different purpose. Like there are bash shell, there is G shell, there is cron shell, and a lot of other things. So nothing much highly difference on terms of G shell and vanilla G shell. So there might be some community version which you call as vanilla G shell, or it is a blank which where you can modify as per your thing and something like that. And if I have to say that yes, G Shell is now coming up with a great more reality experience and all, and people are using it. But majorly when we talk about the industry use case, people prefer using Bash Shell more. So that is there. So okay, that is. I hope that yeah. Yayati has put it up this question. Might if you have anything, please feel free to log. Let me know. Ritika has one posted one question from our principal sir. Hello, in ML or AI, what is the basics need? So machine learning and artificial intelligence. I would say two things are very much important. Like in today's world, everybody says about learning machine learning from Python and things are required. So yes, you need to be good acquainted with Python, and definitely it is going to help you a lot. Second most important thing which I would say is the platform that on which your performance is happening. Like talking about machine learning word itself come and it said that learning of machine or machine is getting learned. So how machine can get learned? So most important thing you need to understand is that machine is going to learn on the terms of calculation. Like there are different multiple calculation happening within seconds. So let me give you an example. Like when you talk about like creating an invisible clock. like that Harry Potter thing going around. You just wrap that cloth around the neck and it just vanish off the colors. So you need to understand that there are million of calculations happened when you incalculated some libraries, and when you hold it up, the entire thing goes visible or invisible. So thing is, for machine learning and all, I would suggest that you need to be good in Python, and side by side, the platform you are using need to be robust, as well as if your application is need to be good hosted on multiple cloud platforms or like any data center, Linux would be a great discovery for that. So you need to be good in Python, I would say, and then gain knowledge of operating system would be highly recommended. Then somebody has given me one question. Okay, that I guess we have just talked about. Okay, Rohan has put it up one question. In one of the webinars of cybersecurity, they said you should be knowing Bash scripting, which is Linux-based programming language. So, what are your views on this? So, Rohan, thing is, yes, I totally understand that talking about cybersecurity, Bash scripting can be beneficial because, okay, let me explain you in this way. When you talk about digital transformation, like today's companies are buzzing out this word digital transform, you need to be digitally active. Yes, digital transformation is adopted, but digital transformation cannot be only thing when you get acquainted with all digital technologies. Your processes also need to get automate. So there are a lot of tools also available which can help you with that. It is good to know because Linux programming is very much easier. Like Linux based programming, which you said about just bash scripting, is very much easy, means where you have to just put down the series of commands in a file and you execute that file. So this is something which is there. So that is the important part. So it is good to know because that can help you to automate a lot of tasks, and that's where the bash scripting is important. But to learn cybersecurity, no, bash scripting is not at all mandatory process. It is a beneficial skill, or I should say skill added to it. Is that many processes handled by the system D? Yes, it is. Every single thing in now Linux operating system in terms of Fedora distribution is managed by system D, because this is the first process that get executed. Then one question is there: what is the difference between Docker and LXD containers? So Docker is that engine which can help you to load the containers. So there is no specific difference between Dockers and containers. Docker is an engine that can run the container, and containers in a single or a layman language, I should say, containers are the lightweighted VMs, a customized environment where you can customize the operating system and you can put it across. So Aparna has put it up this question: how to encourage to use the Linux. Aparna, ma'am, what I should say in that people have made it up their mind that since the childhood ages they are not shown the capabilities, and that's why I use all these examples. That look where all the Linux jobs are coming. We need to make sure that people are learning the right skills. So as a technical folk and being the leader in our domain, we need to showcase them the end results. Like if you talk about C language, it is starting from 1970s, and we are still learning the same C language and yet to get explored, no doubt about that. But if you see on the other side, Linux gets started in 1991, and look how great market it has captured. So it is the trending technologies. Cloud computing, if you talk about, it cannot be completed without Linux. If you talk about DevOps, it cannot be completed. If you talk about containers, Dockers, if you talk about Kubernetes, nothing can be completed without the knowledge of Linux itself. So the end results are going to important. And second most, open source. You rightly mentioned that yes, hesitation is there because everybody think that if I'm going to expose my code, I'm not going to get it important, or like I'm not going to I should say get a good advice. That hesitation is there. But thing is, the hesitation is in our hand. We haven't seen the other side. If you just put it up, automatically people are there to support you in that vision. So I hope that justifies, and start using. So there are like a lot of online flavors are there, like Ubuntu Live is there, or even the Red Hat Labs are there, which are available for free of cost. Go there and start using it. And I should say, when as I'm working with Red Hat, we have also come up with a program called Red Hat Academy, which we can definitely connect offline, where we can help your institute to get acquired as Red Hat Academy. And through Red Hat, you can like ask your students to get yourself learned on Red Hat Academy part and all. And if your college is interested, definitely I can get my RHA team to get allowed. And yes, you can go ahead with doing that. Aparna will initiate this academy. Yes, sure. Let me know. Ritika is there. Ritika has my email ID, or we can connect offline. Oh, that again echo started coming up, but again we can definitely connect offline and we can do it. Okay, sure, thank you. And Yati has posted a question: can we put a number of kernel in a single distro? No. So kernel can be a single which is going to access at one time. So that's the part. Somebody has question: please brief about IBM and Red Hat 5G initiative. So yes, this was a big I should say the news come up that IBM acquired Red Hat with $34 billion, all cash out deal. So yes, Red Hat has acquired IBM, but IBM has acquired Red Hat, but Red Hat is still Red Hat. We are still using open source community development model. We are still working with communities, and we are working as a separate identity. So talking about a 5G initiative, yes, we have our like broader ecosystem where we talk about talking a lot of people like Vodafone, Airtel, and all, and we are helping their infrastructure to get leverage up. But I cannot talk much in this forum as a public reference and what I can talk about. But yes, we are doing a lot of ventures with even the government sectors and even in the private sectors, and they all are based on Linux itself. And one question, Aparna ma'am, if you can unmute again, because I'm getting a lot of echo out here. Now it seems good. No, it is still there. Okay. So, Dr. Lalit, sir, thank you so much, Lalit, sir. Means I am personally excited that Newton College gave me this opportunity to have an interaction with all the students. And my advice would be for the second and third year students would be open culture adapter. Don't hesitate to share your learnings, and even ask the question. Get yourself a power that ask the question. If you feel doubt, there might be one person who is not going to tell, but there are a lot of people out here who's going to help. Like it is rightly said that if somebody closes one door, somebody else open up another. So start searching and get yourself done. So I'm still getting the echo. I don't know about it at your end. Are you still facing the echo? Okay.
Did you hear echo from my sound also?
Yes. I guess, Aparna ma'am, you have logged in from two devices.
Yeah.
The other device is creating an issue, I guess, on which your photograph is coming, I guess. I don't know, but that is the only thing which I can see as a microphone unmuted. Yeah. So Yalia, somebody has put it up this question that is that a package resolver only is the difference between DB, RPM, and architecture? So thing is, yes, there are like different distro. They have different mechanism. Like talking about Fedora, we uses DNF. The Debian basis uses DEB. RPM is that package, or like if you talk about Ubuntu, we are using apt. In Red Hat, we are using Yum, and this Arc Linux, but obviously uses Arc and all like that. So these are different. Like in Windows, we are using .exe file. Over here, we are using this thing. Um, what do we say? Mm, .exe files. So I'm very much bad in Windows. So yes. So I hope that answer your questions. But again, feel free to log in into my device, or connect me on offline. I'll be more glad to answer all the questions if I haven't.
Hello.
Yes, Ritika.
I will request Aparna ma'am to give, then we will end the session of both the.
Thank you, Ritika. First of all, on behalf of Nutan College of Engineering and Research, I first of all thank you, Gaurav Sharma sir, for giving your time, and your content was fabulous. Your delivery method was very really brilliant. The way you are connected with the student, the fact really it's disturbing to hear the echo.
Actually, that was
Okay.
the same thing I was getting at my while answering
Yeah,
the question.
yeah. But
Hmm.
really, Gaurav, thank you for the time. And the content was really good. Easily you connected with the students. And the topic was really required, that I must say. Being the engineering faculty, I have seen so many students and so many things that are related with this. And as you have already shared with your lead link and all other details, I expect that students will definitely be in touch with you. And apart from
Absolutely,
that, we
madam.
will love to start with that Red Hat Academy.
Sure. You just drop me an email regarding that part, and I'll connect with the regarded person that who takes care of RHA, and we can definitely work on that part. No problem at all.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Thank you. Thank you. And
And
really, it's good to have such a live example that student can relate with.
um, I'm really thankful, ma'am, for even first of all, I would like to thanks Ritika for reaching out to me. It was her call that to decide me out on the first time. And really thank you, the entire Newton College, for giving me this opportunity. Hope I did justify to your questions and if I can answer. And if I haven't, please reach out to me offline. I will be glad to answer them. And be kind to one another. Don't hesitate to share. Always speak for knowledge, and God bless you with good powers of words and guide someone. Just be kind to one another. Thank you so much.
Hello, Gaurav.
Yes. Yes, please, Ritika.